For me, I think strong structure, you can tell if it's working or not based on pacing. Because if your structure is out of whack, your pacing probably is going to feel off. I I use word count a lot to help me with my pacing and help me with my structure. Now there's wiggle room, so I don't, it's not like it has to be exactly this words, but I break my books down into 4 acts. My act two was really act 2A and act 2B, and that's 50% of the novel. But basically you've got 25% in the beginning, 50% in the middle, and 25% in the end. And that gives me a very rough estimate of how my structure should work and how my pacing should work. And then there are particular elements in each of those acts that are guidelines to what I should be hitting. Like, you need a strong opening scene. You need a strong inciting incident. And it used to be within 1 to 30 or 1 to 50 pages, depending on the size of the novel. But your inciting incident these days, agents and editors are asking for that to be moved up and faster. And my agent, recently, she wanted to see that inciting event by page 10 for both my adult novel and my middle grade novel, which is really, really fast. Like for a kid's novel, page 10 is not that out of line, but for a large adult sci-fi novel, page 10 is pretty quick. And I've been hearing that the last several years from all of my writer friends and all of my, people I know in the industry. So readers these days want to get to the story faster. So like you can look at that and, like at the end of act 1, there has to be something that happens that puts your character on the plot path and launches the middle of the story. So I use structure as these guidelines to help me make sure that I'm pacing my story correctly. And if I, it's like if I look at my beginning and say I'm writing a 100,000 word book. And so that means the end of my beginning, act 1 is going to be roughly right around 25,000 words.